First conference loss, Warren. What stood out to you as the breakdown tonight?
Well, we didn't execute as well as they did early on, and in the second half we started pressing on offense because once it got to double digits, we started pressing on offense, and that's really a mistake we can learn from in the future. So it's good to happen now than later.
Jerome Hill was big inside for them. What were they doing to get him looks and get him effective inside?
Well, they didn't do anything different than we were expecting. We knew they were going to post him out. They were going to post him up high, low, whatever. Just get him the ball. And we trusted our bigs to play him one-on-one, and they did a good job. He's made some tough shots, especially in the second half.
They had a lot of threes. Is that guys just hitting shots, or do you think there were issues closing out?
Oh, no. We know they could shoot threes. And it was issues closing out, it was issues scrambling out and communication and things. But they also hit some threes where we were in the face, like the three before halftime.
Well, it seems like y'all's bread and butter this whole season's been threes and free throw shooting. It seemed like tonight you guys were a little off on both. The threes weren't going down, and then you guys weren't hitting your free throws. Was it something that they were doing, or was it something you guys felt like it maybe just wasn't your night?
Well, for the free throws, that's our fault for missing free throws. Can't blame it on Gardner-Webb, but the three-pointers, they did a good job in the zone of coming up higher and forcing us to actually go inside, and that sort of took us out of rhythm, and they did a good job switching it up. But we got to make our shots. We had some good looks, and we missed them.
Coach said the inside game was going to be one. If they were hitting their threes, they could also go inside and make some big plays. That was clearly a factor tonight as well. They were able to get a lot of inside buckets.
Yeah, that's what we expected. We knew they had an inside game and three-point shooters around the inside game. So we had to play one-on-one basically the whole game, and we didn't do a good job of it.
A game like this, what can you take out of a game like this to prepare yourself as you guys move forward? I mean, because clearly somewhere down the road you guys were going to lose a game.
Oh yeah, you can always take this, but there's a bunch of mistakes we made tonight that we can learn from, and we got a couple days of practice, and we can fix some things and get moving forward.
You all are playing with so much confidence. To lose a game like this, kind of convincingly, what effect does that have on you? What's that do to that confidence you're playing with before?
Oh no, it has no effect. We got some pretty confident people. There's no effect. We'll be back soon.
Well, you got to give credit where credit is due. Gardner-Webb played fantastic. That was a great team game that they played. They made shots on both ends of and both sides of it. The inside, 31 points, 10 rebounds. That's a masterful game. Knocking down threes, hitting your foul shots. They did all the things to test us, and you got to give them credit. I thought the difference in the game was the fact in the first half it was a duke out. I thought that when they hit the shot at the buzzer to go up by 3 and have the ball, I knew that the first 2 or 3 minutes of the second half was going to be critical. And we didn't get the stops, but when we got down 8 or so, I thought our offense panicked a little bit, trying to get it quick, trying to take some shots. They took some better shots than we did. We just tried to, we hadn't been in that position, excuse me, we hadn't been in that position in a long time. We didn't handle getting down by 8 very well. And then when it went double digits, it even got there. But, they made shots, they made plays, they did the things they needed to do to win. Excuse me.
Open it up for questions.
Coach, you mentioned the second half just a little bit, and that you said you hadn't been in that position before. What went wrong? Is it just that you hadn't been there in a while and everyone just kind of panicked?
Well, we didn't handle it right. That's the bottom line. I just thought our offense, defensively, we never stopped them. But anytime you get a stop, when we got the ball, it was like we got the ball and, there was trying to make a break and we get a turnover, or we just, offense just trying to get it too quick. You just got to take it one possession at a time. And we haven't lost a game since the Ole Miss game, and even in that game, we really weren't behind for the most part. That's the first time we've been down in double digits in a long time. And we didn't manage it. We did not manage it.
Coach, you mentioned earlier in the week, you said that if this team gets hot from 3, you're in trouble. Clearly, they were hot from 3. They were throwing them in, and that seemed to be a big difference.
If they play like that, they can win this tournament in March. You know it, and I know it. But it kind of goes back This is how they were able to beat Purdue. This is how they were able to beat Clemson. This is how they beat us. If they put it together like that, they're a tough out. But they've got 2 losses on the ledger. It speaks of our league. There's not a game, and I've been preaching it, and I'll say there is not a game that you can't have your best shot. You better bring it every single night, every single night. That's the league. That's the league. So, you know, I'm sure that this sent a pretty good signal all around that, okay, you know, it's starting to get jumbled up. There's still a lot of basketball to be played. We can only focus on what's next. And what's next is UNC Asheville. And we got to learn from it and try to get better and, you know, move forward. That's all we can do.
What did you see inside of the matchup with Hill? Anything that concerns you? Or?
Well, he's strong. He's very physical. You know, I thought we did a pretty decent job. He's just tough. I don't think there's anything that we did. I mean, they're just more physical. But you know, he just, you know, he had his way down there. He had his way. If you got to guard him, but if you come off with somebody else, it opens up the 3. So we started out containing him. He made the 2, then we went after him, then he kicked it out for the 3s. He's tough. He's just a tough player.
Coach, you could see some frustration on your face as the game was wearing on, especially with the free throw shooting, because that's your bread and butter, and I could just tell that you were kind of frustrated with the way your team
I'm not frustrated, just knowing the fact that, man, it's just not falling. I mean, it's just not falling. I mean, you know, and then some days it's like that. I mean, they've got foul shooters. If you look at their numbers and the way that they shot it today, everything was in the zone. We've got foul shooters that on a piece of paper looks pretty good. They weren't going in. You know, it's basketball. You gotta move on from it. It's basketball.
Opening comments, I guess, first half for us, obviously we made a bunch of shots and we were able to make threes. And that's our year this year. We've got a lot of guys that are capable of making jumpers. And when it comes together like that for us, we've been pretty good. That's how we beat Purdue. We made a bunch of threes. You know, that when we're able to do that, and then it loosens up the defense for Jerome Hill inside. So that was huge for us. And just really proud of our team. I got so much respect for Coastal's program and their players and their coaches. And I think they're really hard to guard. They got so many weapons that can hurt you in so many different ways. And I'm proud of our team. I thought we defended pretty well and pretty consistently, and it was a great win for us.
You mentioned Jerome, he had a big night. Was there something you saw in that matchup you thought you could exploit with him tonight?
You know, not necessarily. I mean, I think Coastal's post players are strong and physical, and they've got pretty good length. I think they're pretty good in there defensively. He's just, he's our guy in there. You know, we're always going to give him the ball. He and Tyrell. Tyrell, of course, was in foul trouble most of the night, but we're always going to go to Jerome, every night, and he's got to make a good play. If he's doubled, he's got to pass it and kick it out, and if he's single coverage, he's going to go try to score it.
It's still early in the conference season, but how big is this for your program and your team, given that they hadn't lost in league play yet?
It is early. It's really early. There's a lot left here. Our league is so good. I mean, every night you got to play, and it's a huge win for us, though. I mean, I think to win here in a great environment against a team, I think they're very, very good. And it's good for us because we lost. We didn't play good at home against High Point. We got beat by 12, and they really kind of kicked us in the second half. One thing about our team, we haven't lost 2 games in a row outside of our Virgin Islands trip, where we won our first game and then we lost to Seton Hall and Old Dominion. But outside of that, any time that we've lost, the next game we played really well and managed to win. So we got a resilient group, and they're pretty tough in there, and I'm really proud of them.